Hello everyone, how are you today? Welcome to another class of mobile communication. So in this lesson, we're going to learn or share about mobile communication and relationship management. So in the previous weeks, I already shared that one of the uses or the main uses that we use mobile communication is for in maintaining relationships. And one way to do that is by using or through the use of messaging apps, because messaging apps is a feature of the mobile phone that is solely for communication, right? Whether communication between someone else, yeah, like one-on-one communication, or group communication. Okay, so if you see here, this is the statistics from July 2021, where the most popular social media is, a lot of them is related to solely for messaging. For example, we have WhatsApp in the third place, and then we have Facebook Messenger, we have WeChat, yeah, we have Telegram, yeah. So these are apps or social media that is its main purpose is for communication, or what we call messaging apps. Yeah, so different from YouTube is a video platform sharing, or Instagram is basically image sharing. Yeah, TikTok is video platform sharing, and so forth. But WhatsApp, Messenger, Telegram, yeah, WeChat, it is exclusive for message sharing. So messaging apps, they provide a space for communication, whether it is one-on-one, yeah, or whether it is one-to-many. Okay, and these communication, they can be synchronous, yeah, or asynchronous. So if you are online at the time, so the communication can be real time. But if you are unable to be present, yeah, during the time that I send you the message, then it will be asynchronous. You can read it or you can interact with it at another time. So these messaging apps allow individual or group users to send and receive real-time messages in the form of text, images, emoticons, audio, video, document, or location information. Okay, so if you have a look at your WhatsApp or your Messenger button, for example, yeah, so you can attach document, you can attach photos, you can attach audio message like voice notes, you can attach your location, and you can even attach videos or contacts or whatever. Yeah, so these messaging apps can be downloaded in smartphones to replace interpersonal or group communication, where usually we have these verbal voice communications. Now it's replaced by text that we type with our fingers. The facial expressions that we usually use when we are doing face-to-face conversations, we replace them with icons, with emoticons, or animated stickers, right? And we use, for example, capital letters. You can also indicate emotion. And these messaging apps are actually, they're an extension of before we have the smartphones. Yeah, we used to have these messaging or chatting rooms. Yeah, we call them chat rooms, yeah, which are web-based. Yeah, so in the early days of the internet, these chat rooms are also already available. Yeah, we have the first is the internet relay chat. Yeah, so they already use these text messages, they already use these emoticons even before we had smartphones. But of course, now it's more advanced, yeah, where we can we not only can send the text, or or using the or sending the emoticons by using the text. Yeah, for example, before we had these smartphones where they have the emoticons in your phones, you can okay, let me try if I can annotate here. No, I can't. Okay, so before we had these before we had these emoticons where you can send smiley faces, we can use the text. For example, we use the semicolon, yeah, as the eyes, and then we use the parenthesis, or we use, so we just use what we have from the text to create a smiley face, right? But now we already have that. So you can just choose from the wide range of emoticons available to show your emotions. So in this case, mobile communication can be said as a form of mediated and continuous interpersonal communication. So this is different from so this is different from telephone or email or other forms of mobile communication, whereas in mobile communication that is based on cellular communication, it provides a connected presence in intimate relationships. So what this means is when you are using your smartphone, it's like you're available 24 hours, right? So your messaging app is, if you have your internet turned on for the 24 hours, you're basically available for that 24 hours, unless you uninstall, unless you turn off your data so you can't get reception, then we call this connected presence. Yeah, it builds continuous presence between the actors who interact, providing an avenue for more expressions of a condition or emotion. Okay, so this is different from the telephone, where the other person is, they don't know when you're really available, right? They don't know when you're at your phone. Yeah, but in messaging apps, yeah, they have this option where you know that the person is online, right? They have the option to see whether the person is online or not, or if the person posts something, because now messaging apps are also, like, for example, if you post something on Facebook, then the person will know that you're online and they can send you a message. Yeah, so if so it might create problems where you know the person is online, you know the person has read your message, but they haven't replied your message. So now we have this connected presence, where before, if you're on the telephone, yeah, on a regular telephone, you don't know whether the person is readily available to answer your phone. Yeah, but if you see that they are in the messaging app, you know that they are online, then you have this expectation that the person will readily message you back, yeah, or readily respond to you because they are online. Okay, so messaging applications as part of mobile communication also contribute to this continuous connectedness or connected presence with close or intimate people. So we describe this as continuous conversations. Okay, so in the past, the conversations were continuously carried out face to face, where now it's through media. And it's continuous because why? There's always a history of your conversations, yeah, in messaging apps. So it's not only if you're using a telephone, you can only record or record what the conversations that happen during that telephone line. Or for example, that now we're using Zoom. If we have, I can record our Zoom meeting, but only while we are having the meeting. But if you are using a messaging app, you can, if you don't delete your history, your message history, you can trace back your messages, yeah, ranging from the very first time you message that person. So it's not only a record of the recent days, but for the previous days, according to the storage policies of each messaging apps, right? So if you don't delete your message in Messenger or WhatsApp, you can read through, yeah, all the conversations that we've had in that messaging app. So because of the number of relationships that we have to manage and the number of media that we have to use when we are communicating, yeah, when we are part of that relationships, we need a connected management of relationships to promote frequent interactions in various situations. So there are two forms of relationship management. The first is long and ritualized communication for a set time. For example, when you make a regular phone call, like through a phone line, yeah. So spending time on the phone shows a sign of commitment. Yeah, but in mobile phones, it's usually short but widespread communication. Yeah, so the presence is manifested by expressing circumstances or emotions through frequent repeated interactions. Okay, so not only if you are showing commitment to someone, it might be you show by the frequency of you having a regular phone conversation, and also the frequency of repeated interactions through the mobile phones. For example, if you frequently message your loved one, yeah, it also shows the commitment. So interpersonal communication through messaging apps has the potential to contribute to increased feelings of connected presence as it provides communicative cues. So according to the media richness theory, the richer the cues a medium provides, the more suitable it is to handle uncertain and complex communicative tasks. And we see that in previous research on mobile communication and relationship management or maintenance, they use, a lot of them use the media richness theory, yeah, where they see that the richness of cues in communication that is possible, yeah, or that is present in the mobile media, it has a positive role in helping the students participate, learn, and make acquaintances and friends in computer-mediated environments. Yeah, so for example, we use the WhatsApp to communicate, yeah, while we also using the classroom where we use the chat or the discussion or the comment section to communicate, right? And it is also useful for maintaining a romantic long distance relationship or marriage and facilitating self-presentation in everyday settings. And these conversations that we have by these messaging apps, it enables a variety of interactive patterns not identified in other mobile technologies, such as the telephone, the email, or even the SMS. Yeah, because these new interactive pattern is also generated from the active construction of messaging application users, which allow the delivery of more nuanced social meanings. Okay, so the users, they adapt to these messaging apps. Yeah, so before maybe it's only used for text, right? Now it expands where you can send other things. You can send your voice notes. Yeah, for example, for my kids when they were still in kindergarten or in the first grade, yeah, they used WhatsApp to study during this online schooling. Why? Because they're not able to yet operate using Google Classroom, and they're not even able to read. So the teachers send these voice messages that the children can listen to, and the children respond by recording their voice messages because they're not able to use the smartphone to type in their response. Yeah, so this is how the users, yeah, they constructed around what they need it for. Yeah, so communication through these messaging apps is also widespread because it's almost free of charge, where you just need to download it for free on your phone, and as long as you have internet connection, then you can use it readily. And it also substantially increases the frequency of communication, especially spontaneous speech. Yeah, so it's almost like you are communicating face to face. Yeah, so it's different from if you are sending an email, for example. You will structure your words. Yeah, it's more formal, even though it's informal, because it's an email, right? You just can't send like one lines of emails. You construct it, you make paragraphs, so it's different. Whereas in messaging apps, you can just send one emoticon, just one emoji. You can just send one letter or one word. Yeah, so it's more spontaneous, and it's easier than SMS because there's, of course, in SMS, one message that you send, they will have different another charge. Yes, so like if you exceed certain characters, then there will be more charge. Yeah, but in messaging apps, it's simpler, and it has a wealth of cues to convey feelings and emotions. Yeah, so you can send your even you can send your video. Yeah, you can send your voice, you can send images, you can send memes. Yeah, you can send animated gifs and so forth. Yeah, so it increases the feeling of togetherness, and it allows users to form chat groups so they can quickly engage from one-on-one communication to many conversations. So this interactive pattern can contribute to intimate relationship management, where these messaging apps become connected presence in two aspects. The first is the high frequency of use for relationship quality, and the second is the management of presence. So the high frequency of use for relationship quality, where the frequent use of messaging apps in communication can enforce a stronger sense of continuity and security in relationships, where one party may continue to feel cared for or accompanied by the others. Yeah, because of this connected presence, because you are always available online at any time. So even though I'm still sleeping and you can't sleep at midnight, you can just send me a message, right? You can just send me a message that I can read once I wake up, and the feeling that gives you a sense of security. Yeah, so it reduces anxiety or uncertainty that is caused by physical separation. I know that even though I can't sleep at night because I'm anxious, because I have worries, I can just send a message telling what I feel. And even though you are not available at that time, I know that when you wake up, then you will read it, and that thought that this person will be able to respond to me, that is what makes you feel safe, that makes you feel secure, and makes you feel secure in this relationship. Okay, and the next is the management of presence, where the interacting persons can adjust the connected presence level in the messaging app. Okay, so communication by telephone, regular phone, or SMS also allows for this connected presence, but intensive interactions have the potential to distract the users, whereas it may make you feel annoyed. it really sorry, takes up your time when you have to have a phone call for a long time, right? But the interaction in the messaging applications is more flexible. Yeah, so it creates a middle ground between highly demanding and loosely regulated modes of communication. So the users can flexibly change and adjust the level of urgency and expectations when communicating. Okay, so the level of urgency and expectations is determined by the communicative situation. Okay, so the level of urgency, for example, when communicating with parents will be different when communicating with friends. So even though I use WhatsApp for communicating with my parents, for communicating with my husband, with my kids, but I also use WhatsApp for communicating with you guys. Yeah, I use WhatsApp for communicating with my bosses, but we have different expectations. Yeah, we have different levels of urgency where I tell my students, okay, you can contact me on WhatsApp, but I have certain hours. Yeah, so if you contact me at 9 o'clock at night, don't expect me to answer right away. Yeah, so if you contact me on Sunday and ask me something, your paper for me to revise, don't expect me to have a response on that Sunday. So wait until Monday. So we have these different level of urgency and expectation. So it's different if my parent calls on, even though it's like in the middle of the night, yeah, or messages in the middle of the night, I have, because we have this different level of urgency and expectation, I may want to answer. Yeah, so I will answer my parents' call in the middle of the night. So it's different if my student calls in the middle of the night, or even if my boss calls in the middle of the night. Yes, so we have these, we can set this level of urgency and expectations. Okay, so the question is, yeah, in intimate relationships, when we use our mobile phones, does it benefit or does it sabotage intimate relationships? Yeah, because there are conflicting results, yeah, in the use of mobile phones, yeah, in whether it is actually good, yeah, it strengthens your relationships, or maybe it sabotages your relationships. So maybe you can reflect on this yourself, where you can reflect on your relationships and how the mobile phones have affected, yeah, your relationships with various people. Yeah, so here I have two journal articles. We have two recent research. Yeah, one from 2020 and one from 2021 on mobile communication in romantic relationships. Yeah, so whether to answer the question that I posed to you before. Yeah, so read quickly these articles that I will give to you. Yeah, so just skip and scan. You don't have to like really read it word by word, just as long as you get the idea of what these authors are trying to say. And discuss after that whether the effects of what is the effect of mobile communication in intimate relationships, especially in romantic relationships. And after you read the results of these research, try to think if these research will have the same or they will have different results, yeah, in other intimate relationships. Okay, so whether, for example, in relationship between a parent and child, or a relationship between you and your brother and sister. So is it different from romantic relationships in relation to smartphone use or mobile mediated communication? Okay, so I think that's it for introduction from me. So you can please read the articles that I sent you, and we will discuss in class based on today's introduction and based on what you've read from these articles. Thank you very much. I hope it is useful for you, and I'll see you in class.